Have you been tested since displaying symptoms of the Wuhan coronavirus? Have you not been tested? Would you call that reckless?
Keean, Bexte for Rebel News here at the Alberta Legislature with a story that the mainstream media, as per usual, is not reporting on. The ex-premier of Alberta and current leader of Alberta's NDP, Rachel Notley, hosted a press conference just last week that can only be described as reckless. Check this out, what she was doing.
Excuse me. Plan.
Now, folks, we are in a global pandemic. People are dying.
Yeah, just a sec.
And Rachel Notley doesn't seem to care. Rachel Notley has called frequently for restaurants and businesses to be closed down. She's called for strict Trudeau-style draconian lockdowns here in Alberta. She wants you to stay at home, but she is happy to come to work in close quarters, hosting in-person press conferences, coughing up a lung. She's not clear if she's been tested. She's not clear what's going on. She's not clear why she had other people at this press conference. We're going to go in there and speak to her and see why she did what she did. Now, upon arriving, and I'm just about to go into the building, I learned that Rachel Notley isn't hosting an in-person press conference today. I might find her in the building, I might not. But someone who is hosting a press conference is one of her critics and ex-cabinet ministers. You can see right here, Miss Ganley is her name. She was right over Rachel Notley's left shoulder in this video. So I want to ask her if she felt if she was at risk and if she has been tested for the coronavirus, the Wuhan coronavirus, after being in such close quarters with someone who is exhibiting symptoms and wasn't quarantining voluntarily, that is. We're going to go in there and ask.
I'll pass it over to my colleague.
Have you been tested since taking part in a reckless press conference with the ex-premier when she was coughing up a lung? She was displaying symptoms. Was she tested?
So when the budget first came out,
Has there been any testing Has there been any testing in caucus after Rachel Notley exhibited symptoms?
Kathleen, can I ask you a question about this morning's SMS?
Have you been tested since displaying symptoms of the Wuhan coronavirus? Have you not been tested? Would you call that reckless?
Well, I guess those are the answers that they think you deserve. I asked Rachel Notley right to her face, why did she do this? Did she consider it reckless? Like I said to Minister Nixon, this is the most basic advice that everyone is expected to follow, that you are expected to follow. The government has trampled over your rights during this pandemic, but even the people, the hard lockdowners like Rachel Notley, who still don't want to give you back your freedoms despite the pandemic being basically over, she will not follow the most basic health advice that we expect, your neighbors and our leaders to be following. Rachel Notley engaged in what can only be called a reckless press conference just a week ago, and she needs to answer for it. But the mainstream media, who you can actually see right down there, who are asking questions that nobody is ever going to bother to even listen to the answers to, they don't care. They don't care about sharing any sort of other side of the story other than the narrative that the NDP want to share. If that was Jason Kenney, I just want to point this out, if Jason Kenney was hacking up a lung, coughing into his hands while in close proximity to others while holding a vanity press conference, he would be called out by the mainstream media and pretty much everyone. But when Rachel Notley does it, she gets a pass. But maybe she just doesn't matter anymore. I don't know. For Rebel News here at the Alberta Legislature, I'm Keean Bexte. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning into our coverage here at Rebel News. It took a lot of money and time to get into this legislature. I showed you the mainstream media here. They enjoy a membership with the Alberta Press Gallery. They didn't want us in here, so we had to lawyer up. If you go to letusreport.com, you can see the full saga there, and if you want to help us pay back those lawyers, it would go a long ways.